Hi. So, as part of my self-care practice, I actually take the time to practice dreaming and visualization, right? I really struggle with that. And that kind of goes with the whole mindfulness and the meditation and the visualizing what your life is like, right? And to manifest that, you need to be able to visualize that. You need to be able to dream that to make it your reality. You need to know what you want. Okay, well, I got to figure that out. But I really struggled with the dreaming. And ever since I've learned that I am worthy of having dreams, I've been really intentional with trying to dream. And I would practice with people, right? Like, hey, let's pretend. Because I think maybe if you could pretend, it's getting you to that place where you'd be able to dream, right? Because when I try to pretend, it's like the committee of assholes come in and they're like, wait, but realistically, logically, how is that going to happen? It's not possible. And all those things start to happen, right? I am now celebrating that I recognize when they do that. I'm also recognizing a tactic that is new. It'll be a completely different video. So make sure you hit subscribe so you can learn later about how the committee of assholes are kind of turning to the dark side right now. But we're not talking about that right now. Right now, we're talking about me practicing dreaming. Okay, so I invite you to come along on this little journey because it was all over the place. And I've written a lot of it down and I'm processing now, talking here with you. Okay, so I sit down. I've got my tea, right? It's a green tea this time, not a London fog. I had that earlier. Anyway, so I'm sitting down. I'm like, okay, what am I going to dream about today? What can I dream about? And I'm like, well, you know what? I want to visualize what my life is going to be like in the next 10 years. I actually have a 7-year goal. And so we'll say 10 years. Okay. To what that will ultimately come from it. Okay. And I see certain things, but there's always two really crisp things that come right to my mind. And it's either like this little cottage by the ocean, or it's by like a mountainside. I know there's a river nearby, if not near, and there's always a garden. Oh, and then I started thinking about the garden, my garden of healing. So then my mind went right to that place, right? And I can see the cottage. And there's also like a little shed / office. That's where I have my private practice. And I have this beautiful garden. And the garden is of healing. And so my clients come in and they knee into the earth, right? Their hands massage the dirt, bringing life, taking care of their seedlings, encouraging and nurturing them as their plants grow, harvesting. There'll be a whole bunch of celebrations along the way, right? And gratitude practices. How therapeutic is that for healing? Especially when you throw in a couple goats. So anyway, that's what I was kind of visualizing about, just helping people along that way. And then I started thinking about what my career is going to look like in my business and how I'll travel. Yep, I will travel to speak at conferences and TED Talks, workshops, book signings, all that kind of stuff. And then I thought about having my own podcast. But then you know what? I come to a realization, I don't want like a regular podcast. No, I would rather go on other people's podcasts and be guests and maybe have a couple shows, like a 24 episode or maybe only 2 episodes or 1. I don't know. That's what I was thinking. So I'm visualizing that kind of stuff, right? And then all of a sudden, something weird happens. I start thinking about a visualization that I did not have. Oh my goodness, it would have to be at least 22 years ago. I'm just thinking Zachary would have been probably 2. He's now 27, just about 28. I know, right? But I'm 49, so it makes sense. Anyway, back on track. Welcome to my mind and my processing, by the way. You've been warned. So I'll go to this visualization. I haven't thought about this one in forever, but it came back to me. And the feeling, that's what really came back to me. Because it was in Dr. Terry Anderson's CRIM class. I can't remember what the CRIM class was. Something about leadership. But he got all of us to visualize what our life was going to be like. And I had this vision. It was so crisp and clear. I could feel it. And I know it had like a long curvy driveway and there was trees along it. I know it was kind of like a Victorian looking house, but not really Victorian, but it's the best description I have right now for you. It had a purple door, because all my doors are purple in my dreams. And a beautiful kitchen that was kind of dark. It had an island, it had like the stools with the chair kind of backing, right? Like the armrest or whatever. There were backpacks on them. And my boys were there. My boys were older, so they would have been like late teens, maybe even early 20s. And you got to remember, oh, wait a minute. That can't be right then, because Zachary would have been 5. It would have been Colby that was 2. Pardon me. Oh, it's the youngest one that was 2. Okay, anyway. So then that would have been 15 years ago. Wow. Did I ever lose grasp of time there? Again, welcome to the way I process. Okay, but anyway, back on track. I am visualizing this, but I'm also kind of going back to this old visualization that I had. But I remember the feeling, and I remember my career, and I know that part of my career took me to travel. That I was brought in on cases. Yeah, I had a specialty. It was the whole thing. Anyway, yeah, but I remember being in the kitchen with the boys. I remember laughter, and I remember the backpacks hanging there. That's very clear to me, and I remember the feelings. So that came out of nowhere when I was trying to visualize about my future, so I'm not sure what that means. Okay, anyway, going back to me practicing, and this is how it actually works in my head. I have to restart over and over and over again, which, by the way, I am not restarting this video because I already did, so this is what we're getting. All right, so back to my garden where I'm visualizing the healing and the feeling that my clients and myself will have, right? And about me traveling to either for my books or to speak or to coach, right? Just that kind of stuff, feeling really good. And about how I just want people to know like how life-changing self-care really is. I want everyone to know and everyone to feel this feeling because it is so awesome. It's like when you change what you say in your head, when those committee of assholes shut up and you be kind to yourself, like that kindness to yourself is pretty much what I started in the very, very beginning of my self-care journey to my authentic self. I had to start being kind to myself, be gentle with myself. There was a team leader who actually said that to me once. It's okay. Be kind to yourself. She did. I don't even know if she realized she even said it, but she did. Anyway, and that really was in the time where I was struggling and starting my journey. Oh God, I think back about that. She was a light on the path. Right? Even just for a moment. Like, she's not there now and consistently at all. But for that moment, she said the right thing that I actually needed to hear. Oh my God, I just realized that. Wow. Thank you, Jen. Anyway, so I'm practicing dreaming. Okay, and I'm feeling about that feeling. I want everybody to know this, everyone to experience this. And then I think about how hard being kind to yourself is and to catch those committee of assholes, you know, and how the big one for me was that you're stupid. Oh my God, I can't believe how fucking stupid you are. For someone who's so smart, I can't believe you're so stupid. That one. And then having to really challenge that with evidence and having to use kind words when I did stupid things, right? Like I just really took a lot of work and it was really hard and just a lot of awareness. And then that makes me think about, you know, carrying that shame and how shame fuels the committee of assholes and among other stuff. And how shame really holds you back, and it's that self-doubt, and you get that from your early years environment, and it's those primary caregivers or non-caregivers who create, you know, the bullshit that's in your subconscious that we basically operate from. It's like other people's operating systems. I don't know who said that. Someone did. I think it was Deepak. Anyway, point is, that got me started thinking about the kiddos that we work with. Oh my God, and that shame-based identity that they hold so deep in their core belief about self, about how lovable they are and how they're bad and how they're unworthy, and how then the caregivers try so desperately to try to change that shame-based identity, you know, banish it and build them up, and how they struggle to accept compliments, and all of this kind of stuff was all going in my head. I don't think that's dreaming anymore. Like, is it? Is that visualization? Like, I was like, whoa, way off there, right? But thinking about that. But then I had an aha moment. Why can't we start teaching kids this now when they're little? Teaching them about self-love and compassion so they don't have to grow up with that shame, with those committee of assholes or the inner critics or the naysayers or the blurps or the negative thinking, whatever you want to call it. Why can't we start with intention and purpose, teaching self-love and compassion to our kiddos about the importance of forgiveness? Forgiveness is not for other people at all, right? Forgiveness is for ourselves so we can continue to grow and heal. Just like that kind of stuff. Things that we should be teaching kids. But, you know, recognize their emotions when they're really young and how to have respectful relationships. Like, all of these things should be taught all under the age of 5. And how do we do that? By role modeling. Anyway, see, look, and now I just went off on this. That's what happens when I try to visualize about the future. And I try to, you know, meditate or dream. I go, whoa. And I start thinking, and then I start having ideas and goals. Is that part of the dreaming process? That's what I want to know. Is that okay that I do that? Wait a minute, I'm already going to answer that. It is okay that I do that, because if it's not, I forgive myself anyway. This is how I learn. Anyway, we're now like almost 12 minutes in, and I've been rambling about me trying to dream. And but my legit question to you, was that dreaming? If you start off trying to visualize and you see something and then you feel that experience and then you go, oh wait, but then what about this and this? And then you have ideas and then you get excited. Like, is that dreaming? That's my question. All right. If anybody knows the answer, let me know. And if not, have a really great day, right? You make it really nice. Bye.